Give me 0.
Welcome everybody to
The
another
one
episode of
on
Fair
top again.
Faithful Podcast. I'm Brandon Franio. Joined by me is my co-host, Now Game Podcast himself, Mr. Deon, and our boy for our media. How we doing,
What's
fellas?
up? We're doing great. Busy day, lots of news for sure. So,
Yes,
very
Yes,
sir.
sir.
tired.
Another day, man. Another day. Uh, another day that I have to deal with somebody being here that I don't want to be here. But at this point, you just unfortunately, like you deal with it and you move on. But I am not wrong for not being happy that he's here. I am not wrong for being upset that he's still on this damn team, sucking us dry for almost $8 million to do nothing. I'm not wrong for that. So anybody who feels that I'm wrong for that, I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you straight up and kiss my ass. I give a fuck. I'm sorry. I get tired of content creators out there telling us that we're wrong because we have our own feelings. If I feel that it's negative for 10 to still be here, sucking up a cap space, sucking up a roster spot, wasting our time, doing absolutely nothing, then I'm not, if I'm wrong, I don't want to be right. But it kills me when other people tell you how to feel off the rip. And that don't make sense to me. I'm sorry. Ain't no way in hell you can tell me that I'm wrong because I don't like the fact that 10 is here. And you're not a real faithful. And if you don't understand this, that you don't cover the team. You don't get it. You don't know anything. No, that's a crock of shit. It's how the fuck I feel. So you can't tell me how to feel. And you can't tell me that I'm wrong because I don't like him. And I don't like the fact that he's never done anything for this team. Or should I say he's never done enough? But you can't tell me that me thinking what we did was a dumb move makes me out of tune with the franchise. I'm just not going to be docile. I'm not going to agree with everything they do. And I'm going to go against some of the shit that they say. Let me tell you something. You know all the people that say Kyle is always honest? That's a lie in itself because he lies all the fucking time. John lies too. The only person that don't seem to lie seems to be Jed York, but we don't really want to hear from him 90% of the time because he's always going to say some asinine shit. Like, let's keep Jimmy Garoppolo. And what the fuck happens? He's still here. So we're going to go over the roster. We're not going to spend a bunch of time talking about his worthless ass. I just had to put that out there that for anybody out there telling me that I don't know nothing about my motherfucking team, that I don't know, that I'm not in tune with what goes on because I don't like the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo is here and, we have the greatest backup in fucking football and all that shit. Y'all can feel that way. I do not. And I will maintain my stance until 10 is out of the fucking building. And if you continue to feel like, this person doesn't know anything, that's fine. I'll continue to prove you wrong by presenting nothing but facts. It's very simple. While everybody is out there running around, kissing his ass, singing his praises. Oh my God, we have the greatest backup quarterback in history. It's fantastic. Y'all go ahead and do that shit. I'm not about to fucking sing his praises. For what? Why would I sing his fucking praises? Somebody tell me what he's done for this team in the playoffs outside of losing us the NFC Championship game and the motherfucking Super Bowl. What has he actually done for me to sing his praises? There is nothing. So I'm just letting everybody out there know, period. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. I have my feelings. You have yours. Respect my opinion. But don't try to tell me that I don't know my shit because I don't like the fact that 10 is still here and I feel like it was a real dumb fucking move. That's all I'm saying.
I got an answer for you. He pancaked Anthony Barr for Deebo Samuel. That's it. That's the one positive. One play.
Barely.
One play.
Barely did that.
One play.
Barely.
And it was like a half measured pancake where he was already falling and then he had his arm out so that way everyone says it's a pancake.
All right. I mean, he tried. He tried his best. And you know what? You give a quarterback credit for effort because they ain't supposed to be doing shit like that. We need your dumb ass
you
on the
can
field.
all shove your one play trade crap because I got one play for you, and that's one play Jimmy in the playoffs.
I got one play for you. It's called a bomb to Danny Gray for 84 yards. Did anyone see that? Media, you saw that, right?
Yeah.
Brandon, did you see an 84-yard bomb?
I was
Melissa, did
there
you see
live.
that?
I was there
Yes.
live.
You were there live. Wow. So one play through an 84-yard bomb. Boom.
You know what I also saw?
Jimmy-
I saw a baseball side because he actually values being available for the team and getting it shit done. After reading the field 3 times, he literally stopped after he rolled out right and reread the field. Guess what? Your 10 never did that. So all you freaking sexuals can go F my ass because I'm Jersey and I don't give a shit what you say.
Okay, so before we move on, let me go over my format real quick.
I said it. I'm pissed off.
Before we move on, let me go over the formalities. All right, if you haven't yet already, go over to twitch.tv/Very Faithful Podcast and hit that follow button. We're also on Twitter, twitter.com/FFPod49. Hit that follow button for all your Fortnite updated news. We're also on Instagram as well, instagram.com/Very Faithful Podcast, spelled all the way out. We also have a TikTok, tiktok.com/Very Faithful Podcast. And I started this new thing called Playback where you get to come together as a community and get to watch some 49er games each week. And here's the link right here, getplayback.com/room/Very Faithful Podcast. If you guys want to join the room, I will send the link out on Twitter again. I sent it out yesterday for those of you that want to join, and every Sunday I'll be showing the game throughout the season, and it's for us to like get together, talk football, and see how the game's going and all that good stuff. So, playback.
And I want to thank Get 'em Boy Lou because he came out and he shared the link today.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate that. And then we're also on Facebook as well, so hit that like button on Facebook for a Faithful Podcast. So moving on, let's talk about the 53-man roster. We had a bunch of cuts today to make this team go down to 53. So I want to get your guys' thoughts, and we'll start off with the quarterback squad real quick. And this is actually kind of surprising to me. So bring it out. All right, so we got Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Brock Purdy. The Niners cut Nate Sudfeld. Is that surprising to you guys?
Yes and no.
Yeah, yes and no.
Yeah, so look,
yes, because he wasn't consistent and he threw picks, and clearly that they are saving another useless quarterback instead of him. And yeah, that's it.
All right, go ahead, Deon.
No, what I was gonna say was like we'll try to rotate it because I feel like I know I go on rants, so I'm gonna stop doing that. So we're gonna rotate it. Melissa, you can go ahead and finish your point, but we'll go to media, then Brandon, then I'll go.
I'm fine.
You sure? You good?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to make it seem like I was telling you, be quiet or anything, because that's not the case.
I've told B all day long that I've enjoyed your ranting on this and that I appreciate you very much because you're like one of the only like big names out there that's actually calling it like they see it, and it's been pissing me off for at least a good 30 hours. So just be Deon.
Shout out
media,
to Joey.
How you feel, baby? How you feeling?
So I think, personally, I get why they have Garoppolo there, but I'm kind of maybe someone with you would say, Deon, because I don't like that Jimmy G is going to be looking over Trey Lance's shoulder. I get, that he'll be able to help Brock Purdy out now, but just the fact that I'm a little scared that, if Trey Lance struggles or knocking on wood gets hurt, and Jimmy Garoppolo's to come in and he's looking better, that Kyle Shanahan end up sticking with Garoppolo, even though he's been saying Trey Lance is QB1. So that's just what I'm concerned with about this, the quarterback situation. And yeah, I'm a little shocked that they decided to go with 3 quarterbacks, but I think it's also a smart move. The whole theme kind of this offseason, I feel like, has been going younger, at a lot of the positions, offensive line, for example, even the cornerback room. So I think it's, not super surprising that they let Sudfeld go. And I think the nice thing about Garoppolo is he's going to be able to help out Trey Lance, but also Brock Purdy for however long, Garoppolo may be on this roster this year.
What's going on, Sin? Deon, you want to finish what you want to say with this?
All right, so for me, I'll make this short and sweet. Good job, Brock Purdy, for beating out Nate Sudfeld. I ain't gonna push you, man. Really, good job for beating him out. Hey, man, I didn't anticipate such. I truthfully didn't. I didn't think he was going to beat him out and take his job. So Mr. Irrelevant became Mr. Relevant by doing so. For Trey Lance, I already know that, this is our guy. The quarterback room is better with him in it. We traded the future for it. We traded, a lot of picks to go get the guy, and now we have him. So let's continue to keep, bigging him up and putting him on top. As for 10, I'm not happy that he's here, period. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care how anybody feels. I'm not happy that he's here. I'm not happy that we're wasting money and a roster spot giving him anything because we don't owe him shit. The biggest issue with me is, number one, we're paying him almost $8 million. The next issue, number 2, why would we give him a no-trade clause? For what? We don't owe him shit. We owe him not a damn thing. So there's no reason for us to have given him any type of control in this deal. The third thing is, we did the work for other franchises. It has been said all off season that if Jimmy wants to go elsewhere, he is more than welcome to. Him and Don Yee can go and talk to teams and restructure that contract so it's more team friendly, because they know he's not worth the almost $27 million that he was due initially. So now you bring it down to about 16 to 17 with incentives, but you still give him almost $8 million guaranteed. Why? Why did you do all the work for other teams? Here's the issue. Nobody wanted Jimmy in the offseason. He screwed us by having that shoulder surgery, so that just tanked his trade value altogether. And along with that, we have yet another Kyle love affair. When he first came in, what did he have a love affair with? Kirk Cousins. Didn't get Kirk, did you? So you got stuck with Jimmy. Then for years on end, you decided, I don't like Jimmy. I need to get rid of him. I need to get him out of here. And you tried in many different ways. None of that worked out. Matt LaFleur hung the fun up on you because he was like, I'm not giving you Aaron Rodgers. You can kiss my ass. You told Tom Brady no, which makes absolutely no sense. But you kept Jimmy. So what'd you do? You said, you know what? Keeps getting injured. Can't do this shit anymore. Nobody's giving me what I want. Nobody will trade. Fuck it. I'm going ahead and getting the guy in the draft. Now you have Trey Lance, the incumbent starter, who's going to do great things, who will have ups and downs. But you know what you just did to Trey Lance? You cut his legs right from under him by keeping 10 here. And I'll tell you exactly why. It makes no sense for you to have that man on this roster. It will cause a rift in the locker room at some point. Don't believe me? Got a perfect example for you. When Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo were going in and out, what the team come to do? They said, Kyle, we don't like this in and out stuff, man. It's messing with Jimmy. It's messing with his leadership. He can't get into a rhythm. This isn't going to work. So at the end of the day, what happens is you look and you say, well, I got to do what I got to do, I guess. So Tyrod says, real talk, when no one is buying your 84 Plymouth, you have to cut the price to 6.5 M's. First of all, I wouldn't own an 84 Plymouth because that is not a good car. I love you, Tyrod, but that is not a good car. Second of all, if nobody is buying that 84 Plymouth, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sell it to the junkyard for $500 because that's most likely what I'm going to get out of it. And that's what we should have done with Jimmy Garoppolo, is let him go for the little $1 million, $2 million, whatever we owe, and that would have been fine. But now you have him here. And back to my point, if Trey Lance isn't playing up to snuff, up to par, he has a few bad games. What do those whispers in the locker room come to? Hey, man, Jimmy's still here. You know, we could keep him. There's no reason we don't have to. You know, we could just put him in. We were winning with Jimmy. Come on, coach. Although it's supposedly been made clear that this is Trey Lance's team. No questions, no ifs, ands, or buts. So you're telling me that Jimmy isn't active on game days? You're telling me Brock Purdy is the backup? Are you going to put him on the puck list? Are you going to put him on the NFI list? What are you doing with him? And that's the unknown. But he's here. Yeah. And me, I'm sorry, at 22 years old, I was very egotistical. And I can tell you right now, if you came to me and told me, and they said they talked to both quarterbacks, everybody was fine and all that other stuff. But I can tell you right now, if I'm 22 years old and I'm out there about to quarterback this team, but you brought him back, I am burning up inside. Because if in any way, shape, or form I get benched for him, I want out. I don't want to be here. Keep his worthless ass. Let him keep fucking you in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So while everybody is all happy-go-lucky and, oh, man, we got the greatest backup in football, you're not thinking of what happens when the locker room starts to push. And those are your people. You will listen to them. They will give you advice. They will come to you and tell you what they think. The other thing is the fan base has already been divided as it is over Jimmy and Trey. And now they're even more divided because you got the Jimmy sexuals out there that are going to push for Trey Lance. They push for Trey Lance to be on the bench the minute he throws an interception, the minute he doesn't do something up to par that they feel is better than what Jimmy Garoppolo could bring. And it's not going to work. You have to leave that kid in there. Let him earn his stripes. Let him take his lumps. He's got to throw interceptions. He's got to have fumbles. He's got to be sacked. All these things have to happen. He has to have his ups and downs, his ins and outs, his ebbs and flows. But you got to allow him to be able to do that without the pressure of having this jackass behind him. And that's where I draw the line. I don't like the fact that you put that pressure on that kid. Yes, he's great under pressure. Yes, he's ridiculously poised. Yes, he comes from a good family. His father taught him well on how to deal with adversity and deal with these things. A lot of people are saying, well, this lights a fire under him to do better. I want to do better, but I want to do better without having, to look over my shoulder and think possibly this locker room might turn on me because this punk motherfucker's still here. That's all I'm saying. And you can't tell me that's not a valid point.
Yeah. Izzy, go ahead.
Okay. You want to be positive about this? God bless. Let it be your happy flag, whatever. But my issue is, can you at least cut the crap that when Jimmy Garoppolo is the backup quarterback, that we're definitely guaranteed the Super Bowl? And we're already counting how many backup Super Bowls he has? Okay? That's one. Two, this locker room, you want to keep saying that wasn't divided last year. Please tell me exactly why Brandon Ayuk was in the doghouse, and it wasn't because he was showing up late. It wasn't because he wasn't taking it seriously. For the very fact was that Brandon Ayuk, day one, was a Trey Lance fan. He didn't work with Jimmy. When Brandon Ayuk came in, he had, 2-3 snaps at most during the Jets game? And that was, before or after the Jimmy injury? So there was no continuity there. There was no love there. There was no solid anything there. So Brandon Ayuk suffered at the beginning of last year because of Jimmy Garoppolo and his hurt freaking coddled feelings. So that's 2. 3, this whole everyone's gonna support Trey no matter what. Y'all fucking went ballistic on Thursday when we got shut out in a damn preseason game and we're calling hellfire. Now you're gonna tell me that this kid is gonna be left alone enough to actually go through the ups and downs with a freaking completely all new offensive line that only has Trent Williams as its only remaining starter? Like, come on, get freaking real. And the 4th thing, if I have to hear one more egotistical freaking male chauvinist say that you don't know what the hell you're talking about because we've never been in a football locker room, give me a fucking break. There are actual people, man and woman, who actually know what the hell they're talking about. And we don't have to actually have been in the locker room to understand a goddamn locker room. And 5, if this freaking thing was supposedly set in motion a month ago, that's what they were talking about on the stupid phone call, then A, how come he didn't have the playbook? B, how come you all were trashing Jimmy Garoppolo for the past month, saying that he got his money in 2017 offseason and then ghosted you and did not show up until the offseason, and you could not have one single return phone call or text message? So give us a freaking break. This is Jed York and Jed York's doing, and it's exhausting.
I want to bring this up real quick. So in that interview, in that press conference today on the phone, Shanahan said there aren't 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL, and we have 2 of them. Also says Lance is absolutely QB1 and Garoppolo is the backup, period. This is me. Okay, so Tim asks, of course, there are natural tensions when you do this, but again, the football logic of this is obvious. So what the hell is your guys' takes on what Shanahan said about that?
They're desperate for a freaking draft pick, and he's doing what he's told to by the York family.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. They got to be
They're
desperate for a draft pick because there's no reason for them to keep him otherwise.
Yep.
What was the point?
And
You
I don't know how much you
guys.
guys pay attention to other teams, but I live in Jersey, so and my father is a diehard Giant fan. You all saw that Tyrod Taylor got hurt on Sunday, right? With a back injury that he re-aggravated, and he's having huge back spasms, and he had to be carted off. Daniel Jones is coming off a horrific neck injury, maybe not exactly like Peyton Manning's, but pretty severe, where he got knocked out last year. And they just cut out the only other healthy quarterback on their team, Davis Webb. So you're telling me teams like the Giants that are so beyond pathetically in desperate need of any kind of quarterback help will not trade for this guy, whether he was cut down now or he was on his original contract. That proves that no team is going to give you compensation. So you're wasting a roster spot, you're wasting guaranteed money that he does not deserve, and you're just brewing more toxicity and negativity where it doesn't need to be.
Agreed. All right. Well, we'll stop talking about freaking.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move
10.
on. Let's move
Let's
to
just move
a
on.
more exciting group.
Yes.
The running back.
Jordan
Yeah.
Mason time! Let's go!
I was wrong about that. I did not think Mason was making this roster.
All right, here we go. So we got Elijah Mitchell, Trey Sermon, TDP, Jordan Mason, Jeff Wilson Jr., and Kyle Juszczyk. Guys, Hasty's finally gone.
Actually, no. They said if he cleared waivers that they were re-signing him to the practice squad.
Makes sense.
But at least he's
I mean,
off the
that makes
53.
sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But what's your guys' thoughts? How do you like it? What's the rating you guys give on the running back core?
Go ahead. We'll start with Melissa and then go up from there.
I give it an A. I personally would have preferred a little bit more room for other position groups, but on the whole, I really love that Jordan Mason's going to be here. He's like Elijah Mitchell last year. They just kind of took over the team. And I don't care if you want to say it's second, third, fourth, whatever the hell stringers it was. Jordan Mason had that incredible gritty mindset. He did not care about holes. He didn't care about the protections. He came out, didn't matter what line was out there. He just went at it. And that is something I love to see. I've dealt with Saquon Barkley up here. I've dealt with these guys that like tiptoeing in the backfield. And that we have two guys like that now with Elijah and Jordan Mason. That is just something I'm dying to watch, especially week one against that Bears defense.
Yeah, I personally like the room because personally, like the thing is, it makes sense. I think why also Hasty wasn't on this team. Also, like the thing, he's always a preseason hero, and then just disappears during the regular season. Has fumbling issues, just doesn't look as good, right? And so, also I think that the Niners have kind of like changed the type of running backs they're going with, because you have TDP, who's also that like bruiser type of running back, and Mason's the same thing. So to me, I personally thought they were gonna have one less running back, but it makes sense to me why they would have chosen Mason over Hasty.
Plus, we don't need the special teams help anymore because we went out and got the Odoms and we got all these other guys that are supposed to be special team players. So there's no going to be more Hasty need on special teams.
Yeah. Well, what was the grade that you want to give it, media?
I'd give it an A. Yeah.
Okay. D, are you done with your wings so you can talk?
Wait, man, I'm sorry, bro. Look, I'm the chef in the house, man. I get down in the kitchen now.
Hey, what flavor did you go with?
These are lemon pepper.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's hot.
Lemon pepper, man. Let me show you, because I just came from the gym, so I even share my food with y'all.
Nice.
Damn. There it is.
You gotta eat right after you come out the gym.
I love dry ribs and
the running backs group. I give an A. Having Elijah Mitchell there, he's RB1. Wilson Jr. probably made the squad just based off the fact that he knows the system and he's a Kyle guy. TDP and Trey Sermon, it just only made sense. You're not gonna cut 2 third-round guys that you invested in. I do agree. Sermon is definitely basura. And then Jordan Mason. I'm gonna tell you right now, Jordan Mason would not have cleared waivers, and that is the reason why he is on this team. He did way too much in the preseason, and there was way too much talk about him for them to even try and allow him to be able to clear waivers. It would have been a wrap. Somebody would have snatched him quick. Hasty, nobody going after him. Oh my God, they would have jumped on him.
For sure.
Did Chris Carson actually retire and Penny's hurt too?
I don't know who retired in Seattle. I don't know.
It was Chris Carson who retired. But...
Yeah, that's who it was. No, see, and that's the thing. In Seattle, every running back winds up getting, hurt in Seattle every 5 minutes, so they need another running back, and they would have put Jordan Mason in there behind that shit offensive line and wound up screwing his life up. But I give it an A. I love every second of it. We don't really, we're including Juice in this. We know what Juice is. He's the best Swiss Army knife in the game. I know.
Was coming up.
Just hold on. I will say this.
I knew 44 was coming up.
I know a lot of people. I know Melissa is not a Juice fan. I am, and I'll tell you this. I'd rather have him out there blocking and him out there possibly catching the ball and running a wheel route so he can actually get hit on it properly, because there's going to be a quarterback that can actually throw him the ball properly. But he is the ultimate Swiss Army knife. He's the best fullback in the league. There isn't anyone better. And I'm happy to have him here in the scheme. And I do believe that his usage actually goes up more as far as that thing, because now we have a wider variety of things we can do on the offense. But I love Juice, man. I ain't got nothing against him. I think he's great.
Fernando, I have already accepted that as long as that motherfucker is here and he wants to be a Niner, I am not going to get my wish.
Wait, do you all think we actually
a beat down argument? But I will say this: I will take 44 gladly if I never have to see Ross Dwelly out there trying to block for the rest of my life. Because Ross Dwelly sucks on special teams. He holds like a motherfucker. He cannot throw a block to save his life. He does one little tiny BB push like he's like freaking Eric Flowers from the Giants with the alligator arms, and then he quits. And he just stands there and lets everybody else fall around him like dominoes. So I have one player on this team. Congratulations. I will gladly admit I like a little bit less than Juice, and that happens to be Ross the Boss Dwelly. So there you go.
I was gonna ask, didn't he get released by the Cardinals?
Yes.
Yes, he did get released by the Cardinals. They signed him initially as a tight end, and they released him. So he'll probably wind up on our practice squad.
And
I don't doubt it.
Wayne Breezy, Mike Andrews, I believe Fernando, Taryn, and everybody happened to have a very big love fest tagging me saying, Melissa, guess what? They got him and they picked him up. It's like, what did you expect me to do? Just go all Jersey on your asses and cuss for 20 minutes? This isn't an episode of The Sopranos, okay? I live in North Jersey. I don't live in South Jersey, okay? I don't live near Philly fans. I live near Jets and Giant fans.
So Terry, at least Trey,
facts on that one, bro.
Facts.
At least Trey can hit wide open Jews on a wheel route now. Hey, the boy Kelts is in the building.
Kelts Chronicles. Hey, man, we got to get Kelts on the show, bro.
Yes,
and one last thing on your whole Swiss Army knife. Kyle Juszczyk cannot get 1 yard to save his freaking life on quarterback sneak.
No.
Twice, Deon. It wasn't once. It was twice in a row. And he could not get a freaking yard. Twice in a row.
He'll make up for it this year.
Hey, don't worry.
You know how long I had to live through that Green Bay game? Do you know how much shit I got for 4.5 straight months about how we lost twice in a row to the freaking Green Bay Packers to my brother? Twice.
What you do is you remind him you can't beat us in the playoffs where it counts. Easy way to find that.
It don't work that way with that motherfucker.
Christian in the building.
Our boy Christian's in the building. What's going on, man?
Hi, Christian.
Hello.
Christian, what's your grade on the running back room?
What's my what?
Grade on the running back room.
Here, I'll bring it up again.
I mean, we got what, 4?
5.
4 or 5.
Or no, 4. Yeah,
we got 5 including Juice.
My bad throwback.
6. Yeah, 5 including Juice.
I mean, I'd give it a C+ maybe, just because we don't, I don't trust Wilson that much. I mean, he's not. I never thought he was all that great anyway. I don't know the rookie. We got to see from the rookie, David, the rookies Price and Mason, and then I've been high on Sermon, but obviously he still has some stuff to show us, and Mitchell is a number 1 guy. So, I mean, I guess you can give it a C, C+, C-, or B-.
Wow.
Maybe just what we can see how it's going to go. I mean, maybe you could bump it up to a B if you want to go with like just having so many running backs by committee because we've had so many injury issues. Maybe, but I'll give it a C+ for now, and then come back halfway through the season and ask me again, and maybe we'll see if it changes. Just because it's so unknown. Like I trust Mitchell. I think he's great. I like Sermon. I think he's going to actually play well this year. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see what Kyle's plan is. But it does. What I do see from having so many running backs is Kyle's going to be, and then also like we're bringing back the other tight end after we put some guys on the IR. It's going to be it's going to be all about run blocking. Lance is going to run a shit ton this year, guys. Like, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be like the fucking
Bashar.
This is going to be like what in high school what they call the wishbone offense. We're just going to run and run and fucking run.
Hey, Christian, can I ask you a question since you're like the one who gave it the lowest grade?
Yeah.
Who do you think is gonna get that third down back time that he sees not gonna have anymore?
So who's going to be the third down back? I would say Sermon, most likely because when you look at the tape, if you actually especially look at Sermon's college tape, he can block better than all the other guys in the passing game, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. So I think
you gotta hook up with Crystal because she's the only other person like I know who's die hard Sermon right now.
But that's what I'm saying. Nobody, I don't think a lot of people have watched how good he was in college, and how well, you got to think. Look at the two quarterbacks he played with in college and how much he helped them. He played with Fields and Murray in college. At Oklahoma, he played with Kyler Murray, and then when he went to Ohio State, he played with Justin Fields. He made their jobs so much easier because he's really good off delayed handoffs. He's good off the zone read. He's good off all the stuff Kyle's going to be doing anyway with Lance. So he makes the most sense for third down because he can block really well in the passing game. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. So he would make the most sense for third down back. You're going to see Mitchell there at times. The only thing that hurts with Mitchell is he's not as good blocking, pass blocking as Sermon would be, but he can catch the ball really well out of the backfield too. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the two of them back and forth as a third down back, because from what I know from the Davis Price rookie, he's never even caught the ball ever. So he's not. There's no way he's a third down back because he's not catching the ball out of the backfield. So
You think Mason could be a third down back?
he could maybe. We haven't seen enough of him to even know that. Maybe I should watch some of his college tape and see if he can do it.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big, powerful guy, so maybe he can pass block. Like if you look at Sermon, he's a big, powerful guy, and literally the big, powerful running backs are good pass blockers. The smaller, stouted guys aren't. And then Davis is it TDP? TDP never has even really been in any passing downs when he was in college, so. He's going to be a first, maybe second down guy. But I just feel like Kyle's going to probably put, he's just going to rotate the guys, and whoever has the hot hand that game, they're just feeling it that day, that's who Kyle's going to roll with. And then the next game, he's going to rotate him constantly, and oh shit, that's the hot guy. Keep handing it to him. Because look at that year we went to the Super Bowl. There'd be times where Breida was just fucking boom, fire. Mostert next, boom. Fucking Wilson was having a good game. He was just going with
Tevin Coleman.
Tevin Coleman.
Actually, it was mostly Coleman, Breida, and Mostert got sprinkled in afterwards.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Mostert for the beginning of the year came in if Breida was being benched because he was dropping too much, or he'd come into the Saints game and they had that trick play where it was flicked out to Juice and then it was flicked out to I forget who the second guy was in the running back crew, and then it was then thrown down to Mostert on the trick play. So Mostert really took off at the end of the year when Breida was hurt and kind of in trouble with Kyle, and then when Coleman went down in the Green Bay game, that's when he really, really took off.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna move on to the wide receivers now. So,
Yep.
There we go. Okay, we got Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Jennings, Ray McLeod, and Danny Gray. Besides Deebo and Brandon, do the rest of them have any surprise on making the roster at all?
Nope.
I was just surprised a little bit that what's his name? Malik Turner didn't make the roster. I was a little surprised with that because he has the special teams value, and just having a veteran, in the locker room at that position.
See, that didn't make that didn't surprise me because Malik Turner had that big penalty for hitting. Well, he didn't get penalized, but he still hit him on the helmet. We went through this last year with Nasimba Webster, where we all thought he was a shoo-in because he was such a good returner. And then Kyle flat out said, I'm not going to keep somebody here just for special teams.
Mhm.
And C, I just think that they're trying to trim where they can. So I think we got the main receivers that we all thought were going to make this roster, and that they decided just to put the roster spots to elsewhere because they are keeping 10. So I'm not that shocked, actually.
What do you guys think about because from what I heard, they're interested in putting Willie Snead on the practice squad.
They'll probably.
I don't like that at all.
I look at it like this: the 5 guys that made it were the 5 guys we all pretty much were projected to make it. I did think that they would have kept a 6th. They probably are keeping a 6th because we have the worthless piece of shit that is number 10 still here. But But either way, I'll say this: I like the 5 that we have. These are the guys I thought that were going to be here. And these dudes are definitely going to do great things. I know Juwan Jennings hasn't looked the greatest, but let me tell you something. Juwan motherfucking Jennings
He's still clutch.
is going to come back. He's going to come back in the season, and he's going to shut everybody up, and he's going to show us all how great of a dude he is.
Can I ask you guys a question about that?
Yeah.
All right. So who here has remembered the years where Dante Pez, Richie James, all these other darling practice squad preseason gems were perfect in getting all the rave reviews? Like, at the end of the day, I'd rather have Juwan Jennings be the badass superstar that he is on the actual field when it actually matters than having him be dynamic and have all these freaking perfect practice things. And secondly, to bounce back off that, you do realize that our corners are all-time better than they've been in a very long time. So if we didn't see Mooney and Mosley and all these guys actually getting any good reps, we'd be all crying bloody murder that we didn't get Asante Samuel Jr. again and all these other cornerbacks that you all were falling in love with for the draft. And thirdly, Brandon Ayuk, part of what is making him so special right now is he's spent most of this offseason with Trey Lance. They've been hanging out together. They've been nicknaming each other. They've been Instagramming together. Like they've been working with TJ Husama and Brandon's people. Like there should be some disconnect where Brandon is a little bit above them all because he spent the most time with him.
Yeah, that's Trey's little milk dud.
That is his milk dud.
I knew you were gonna say
honestly,
that.
I think we only went with 5 receivers because, like I was saying earlier, it does seem like Kyle's freaking building this offense for the fucking chuck and run is the best way to. It's gonna be run the fuck out of that shit, and then it's gonna be like fucking. We're gonna throw like 3 or 4 deep shots and hope we get a couple of them.
Because what do we all know about Kyle? Kyle's plays are set up to keep going. It's like, if this happens, okay, oh, cool, we're going to go here. If this happens, oh, cool, we're going to go here. You know, I mean, that's one thing you can say about him is he definitely plans ahead when it comes to his plays. The only issue is when he runs out of plays. Because then it's like, okay, if you got to freelance it, bro, freelance. But, I mean, we're just going to have to pick it up. But I honestly think the wide receiver room is fantastic. Also, I don't believe there was anybody in preseason that showed us a reason they needed to be here.
Nope.
No, I do not, Tommy Huxley. Not at all. Get that shit off the screen. I do not miss him. Or Kirkpatrick or that asshole that came in for the Miami game a year before.
Hey, look, Tommy, don't you go in here setting people off, damn it.
Oh,
Tommy be out there Tommy be with the shit the whole time.
I was gonna say, but so I think we're gonna see a pretty simplified offense the first couple of weeks. I mean, most of the year probably from Kyle to try to get Lance comfortable. It'll be interesting just to kind of see how the game goes and how much it works. But I honestly am not going to be surprised if we're going to see Trey running himself. Like there's going to be a lot of it.
Yeah, and that's why I don't even take so much of preseason out because Kyle Shanahan obviously isn't going to go out there and here are all our plays. You know, that's why I'm not. It's preseason and it's okay that we looked bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
But
exactly.
I also think he wanted it to be like the Lions and Cardinals game last year, where he wanted to see his team under and see how they bounced back and dealt with adversity. Like, you won the other 2 preseason games. You didn't have to win the third. Like, he wanted to see how people dealt with pressure. And he got to, because Purdy completely choked playing hero ball in that last series.
Well, I mean, he took out Trey so fast because of how bad the O line was collapsing and everything. He didn't want to get
Yeah,
Trey
that
hurt.
wasn't really
It
Trey's
was
fault.
it wasn't Trey's
Yeah.
fault at all. And people are blaming it like it is,
And for
So
all the Jimmy stands, how many times have I done perfect, flawless routes and was not touched at all? And Kittle. So for all you Jimmy stands, back the hell off that Trey didn't see Brandon for one damn throw, which he most likely was told to throw it to Debo anyway.
yeah. All right, so moving on, we're going to the tight ends, which we're not surprised about at all. Damn, I did it again. Okay.
There's
So
gonna be a
George Kittle, Ross Dwelly, and Charlie Warner.
well, Croft is coming back too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and he'll be resigned once he clears waivers.
Yep.
No. They have the side
Right?
deal because Curtis Robinson and Jimmy Ward still have to be put on IR. So when they
That's
are
true.
put on IR, they already said they have backdoor deals with Tyler Croft and Jordan Willis to come back
Yeah.
to the squad.
Yep.
So that we don't have to worry about them clearing anything. They're coming back.
Yep.
I see you switching over there, D.
Yeah, I had to switch up, bro, because
Your battery's dying.
yeah,
But
So
the four tight end thing really, when you think about it, what it tells you is we're running a fucking power run offense all year.
hmm
Like Trey's gonna run the ball a lot more probably than he's gonna pass it himself. Honestly,
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like
I'd rather not, if I'm
I mean,
honest.
I agree.
that, I think it's true, but that's what he did in college too. And like until it almost feels like until he really gets comfortable in the passing game, that's what Kyle's gonna do.
Yeah.
And I like the 4 tight ends also because we have question marks at the offensive line too. So I think having an extra tight end will help because then you can have Charlie Warner out there blocking too. And
That's my second worst nightmare come true.
Did you-
George Kittle is going to be lining up as a 6th offensive lineman for the first few games because the O line is not up to snuff yet, and I did not want to see this happen again. But
Do you guys see what Michael Lombardi said on the Pat McAfee show today?
Should I bring it up?
Well, I can just give the cliff notes. I
Okay,
watched
go
the whole
ahead.
thing. So, for one, this guy swears he knows it all. For one, and he swears by the fact that Kyle wanted Mac Jones because Mac Jones fit his offense perfectly, and he got bullied from the front office to not get Mac Jones, which to me that tells me that guy doesn't know who Kyle is at all. Really, that's a
Mhm.
guy with who loves himself some him. Kyle loves him some him and has a big fucking ego. I don't really see him being that way. And like he also said that Kyle actually wanted Brady. And the rest of the front office, the rest of the front office,
John.
didn't want Brady. Like they told him no, and Kyle's the one that actually did want Brady. And then the rest of the team, the rest of the front office said no to that. And then he said, Kyle isn't really liking the way that Lance is looking, and he said they're gonna obviously run, which this part I somewhat believe, like they're gonna run it a lot, and Lance is not 100% ready, and they might be worried, which he could be full of shit because he still believes in the Mac thing, and I think a lot of the media feel upset and slighted that the Niners didn't take Mac because they were so wrong.
their
And
butt
they hate
hurt.
being wrong. Oh yeah,
Their
that's
butt
what.
hurt.
But I mean, Lance is so raw because he only played 11 college games and then he has 2 starts in the NFL.
Oh my God.
So he kind of just went on about like how Kyle did this, Kyle did that. Kyle is worried about Lance. That's why they're bringing back Jimmy. Everybody's acting like Jimmy's so great, and like it even like just Pat and his guys talking about the whole time how they're bringing back Jimmy because they're worried about Trey and it's going to cause all these issues. And it's like,
Nah.
I'm worried about the issues part, but I also think they brought back Jimmy and the making him the backup quarterback is all a ploy because they're going to fucking trade his ass within the first 5 weeks.
Yeah,
of
he
the
will.
Season.
Yeah, they will for sure.
And the whole point was now that his fucking contract is $6 million, it's not going to be very hard to trade him compared to $26 million.
Yep.
Like, it makes sense. It's annoying, but they also got Trey's approval from it. So, like, Trey was in on it so that he knows that he's still the quarterback. So I'm hoping that makes it not an issue.
Trey's not a diva. So, like, this whole him
Yeah.
being cool with it, it's like, this is who he's been from the start. He's propped up Jimmy. He's said that Jimmy's had his back, even on plays when you could clearly see the sidelines and Jimmy was nowhere to be seen near Trey Lance. He kept saying that Jimmy was helping him break down the plays and see what he was doing. Like,
yeah, so
this is who he is.
I think Jimmy's going to be gone within the first couple of weeks. That's probably what's going to happen. And it's just annoying because we gave all these fuckers that were all about fucking Mac Jones more ammo. So
do you guys all believe the Brady thing? Because I remember hearing about Gronkowski and Dana White going both off on how it was supposed to be the Raiders and how Gruden put a kibosh to it, and they both admitted it that Gronk and Brady were going to be in Vegas together, and Dana White was facilitating it.
He probably did put it. It probably is true because Gruden likes to be in charge and have full say, and when Brady's there, that doesn't happen.
And for the
when
other
Brady
point,
speaks, you listen, and that's not Gruden.
And for the other point you brought up, if Kyle Shanahan wasn't the one dominating the draft board, then please tell me why John Lynch is still the GM, because they pretty much said we need a guy that's going to let Kyle do what Kyle wants to do, and you're just the facilitator of what Kyle wants for this team.
Yeah. Michael Lombardi was pretty conceited today, so
I don't like Michael Lombardi.
He was pretty conceited today. I watched the whole thing, and I'm just like, some
he
things
sounds like the rest
understand.
of the media.
Yep.
Honestly.
Yeah.
But Fern brought up because Jesse and Marco are on right now on 49ers Red Zone, so he said that Jesse and Marco would like Anthony Harris on this team. What's your guys' take on that?
See, the thing is, like, I feel like because Jimmy Ward's only going to be out for 4 weeks, I don't know if you really need to go after a guy that, like, is, that high of, like, a starting guy at the safety position. Like, I would want us to bring Tart back, but it's also, like, I feel like where would he fit then, when Jimmy Ward's healthy? Because I don't think you can, not play Hufanga. Then so like I don't really like that either. So
Marcus Blair's out there from Seattle, and Seattle's dumb for letting him go. That's who we should go get.
Yeah,
that guy has speed, fucking run, and he's always near the ball, runs to the ball. He has great coverage skills. As bad as we've been struggling at safety, that guy is a legitimate starter in this league, and he just got cut. So,
hey Deon, so Fern just brought up that I guess Jesse and Marco are talking about they would like to see Anthony Harris on this team. What's your take on that?
I don't even know who Anthony Harris is. Honestly, I don't. I don't watch college football like that, so I couldn't tell you who these guys are.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's an upgrade over Mike McGlinchey, shit, welcome. But the one thing I'll say is that, and I'm not shooting on McGlinchey anymore, man. The dude's he's a good run. He's a great run blocker. He's a so-so pass blocker.
He's gonna fit right in. How much we're gonna run the ball this year?
It is what it is. We're just gonna leave it alone and hope and pray that he's healthy.
Can I ask you guys a question about Tart though? Isn't his strong suit playing the strong safety like Hufanga?
Yeah. Well, so, you don't want to.
Like, I know people are saying that he can play both, but wouldn't you want more someone that can catch and play free safety better than Tart?
Yeah. Nah, I'll tell you right now. For me, I'll stick with the people that we got. I'd rather let George Odom go out there and start.
Yeah.
And probably put Tarvarius more on special teams if we need to. Like it's not a big deal. I think we have the guys in the building to be able to get things rolling. We don't need to bring back Tart, but I mean, if he comes back, he's gonna have to come back on a nice little friendly deal because throughout the year there will be injuries, there will be things that go on, and we will need that money. We could have had all of that money, but that's neither here nor there. So offensive lineman looks like we kept Trent Williams, Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, Spencer Burford, Mike McGlinchey. Basically, that looks like the starting 5.
Mhm.
And then you've got Jalen Moore, Colton McKibbitz, Nick Sekel, and Daniel Brunskill. So those are good backups. Works perfectly fine for me. Not mad at the offensive line. Brunskill is our juice on the line. He can play any position.
Yep.
I preferably would like to see him more at tackle. He seems
tackle.
to be better there. Like he was
Way
really
better
good.
there.
He was really good at left or right tackle. Because you remember a couple years ago when School was in because Staley was out and he was getting his ass handed to him by Myles Garrett.
Yep.
School of who?
Yeah.
That fool's gone now.
School's actually
as soon as they put
School
Daniel
good against the Browns. School
Brunskill
got
in,
his ass handed to him against the Packers.
no,
Both times that he had to face the Packers, he could not handle the Packers at all. So bad that I actually had to flip the positions and let Brunskill do left tackle because
Well, no, what I'm
School's
saying
getting
is-
his ass handed to him.
what I remember him getting his ass handed to him was in that Cleveland game. Myles Garrett was just murdering him. They put Daniel Brunskill in and all that shit stopped. So for me, I like what we have on the offensive line. All of those dudes are well worth us keeping. And the guys that got cut probably have a few guys thrown onto the practice squad. I know a lot of people have been talking about this guy Leatherwood, Crazy Juice. A lot of people. And
He has
everybody's
lead
saying
feet.
that. But what they're
He
saying
has
is,
really lead feet.
I know, but what I'm saying is everybody is saying that he probably fits our system better than what they were doing with the Raiders. So
Okay.
I don't know that to be a fact. I don't know much about Leatherwood, but media, what you got, buddy?
I was also
Yeah.
gonna add that, like, for Alex Leatherwood, also, like, when he was coming out of college, like, he's better as a guard than a tackle in the NFL.
True.
Yeah.
How you feel about the line, Lefty?
I feel like Banks will. I mean, he looks like he struggled, but he's going to play better just because he's going to be next to the Silverbacks. So I'm okay with him lining up next to Williams because, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he, Lincoln played fucking so damn good last season.
Oh.
But I wouldn't be surprised lining up next to the Silverback didn't get his ass paid.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look, you look real good when there's a Pro Bowl left tackle, one of the best players in the NFL right next to you. That's not hard to do. It's like playing next to Nick Bosa. You should have a couple sacks playing next to somebody that damn good.
Exactly. And I like Brendel. I think he's going to be
I think he's solid.
I think he does good. He fucking has a high motor and he never quits. So I like Brendel. Buford's been good. I think it'll take him probably a little bit of time. I'm sure he'll have some jitters being a rookie. But once Mike's in there next to him, I think he'll settle down. But this offensive line is built to fucking run that fucking ball, and that's what we're gonna do.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Like you put fucking Kittle next to McGlinchey on that side when McGlinchey comes back, and you run fucking power behind the two of those. Fucking
I'm afraid for whoever they get blamed.
Mitchell is gonna fucking eat, especially with Buford too. The right side of the line when you're running.
It's Burford.
I don't know why everybody calls him Buford.
A lot of people do say Buford, but it is Burford.
Yeah, Burford. Fucking, he's gonna fucking, dude. The right side when we run to the right, power. Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because if Debo's lined up on that side and he's blocking corners too, because he's a fucking good blocker.
Or you throw Juwan Jennings over there as well.
Oh yeah, who's a great blocker too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. That's just it's unfair. You did bring up the defensive line.
I did. Here we are.
Let me say this: if we win the Super Bowl, it's going to be.
I am
like
surprised that
there.
Nick Sekel is here though, and not Jason Poe, because I thought Jason Poe was a stronger run defender.
Yeah,
I'm not really
but you know how
shocked though.
Kyle is. He's like super particular. You know.
I mean, I'm not surprised Sekel didn't. Like, I'm not surprised he made it because first of all, he's a draft pick, so he's Kyle Shanahan, and it is
Yeah,
going
but
to have him
Colton McKivitz
over
got cut his first
Jason
year too.
Poe, and then like I think that also he's just going to be that developmental type of guy that's on this roster. Like he's not going to be playing a ton unless we have a ton of injuries.
Yeah, that's true.
Look
All
at this
right,
D-line.
let's go look at this number 1 D line. Okay.
Okay, so we have Nick Bosa, Javon the Barbarian Kinlaw,
Ooh, I'm so excited.
Oh yeah.
Charles Omenihu, Kerry Hyder Jr., Hassan Ridgeway, Drake Jackson, Eric Armstead, Samson Ebukam, and Kevin Givens. The surprise cut for me.
And Jordan Willits we can add to.
Yes, thank
Oh.
you.
But the surprise cut to me was Kamoko Ture.
Oh,
Yes.
I was so
Actually,
pissed
look,
off.
Really good this
That
preseason.
really pissed me
Maybe
off.
practice squad, do you think?
I don't know if you're
No,
gonna let a player. I don't think he's
Well,
gonna bring waivers, man. I
bring
think
it back.
that dude.
Yeah, it's true. Bring it back up, Brandon.
Okay, yeah. Boom.
I was also a little surprised about Ridgeway. Like
If you can Ridgeway's see, I agree. Ridgeway's the surprise signing was where Teray gets cut because of the Ridgeway. I don't know enough about Ridgeway. It's surprising because of the rest of the guys I see on there.
Well, they said they want him because he's more inside, and we don't have
Okay.
a lot of depth on inside because everyone's getting banged up inside.
That makes sense
Okay.
because because Givens, if he stays healthy, is a fucking beast in the
Oh,
He's
inside.
good.
He just has to stay healthy. So like with Armstead and Givens, and then you got apparently Ridgeway with Kinlaw as the guys on the inside. I like that pairing. I don't know about Ridgeway too much, but I really like that pairing with I don't see why Kinlaw can't, as long as he stays healthy, can't play, constantly go, and then we can rotate him here and there. But Givens looked fantastic, and he's going to look even better if he's at times next to Kinlaw. And then same thing with Eric Armstead. If he's next to Givens or Kinlaw, he looks good. So
Works out well.
and then you kind of look, you're going to have Willis coming back, Jackson, Hyder, and Omenihu all fucking switching off opposite of Bosa. And those guys, think about it. Bosa's obviously going to always be in there. Those guys are going to be coming in fresh when Bosa's going to be taking double teams at times. I feel pretty confident about that rotation on the other opposite side getting a lot of sacks.
The only thing that I would have done is I would have traded Samson, and I would have kept Teray.
No, I think
why does everybody want to get
Samson's
rid of
got a high motor, and he fucking
is it the fact that is it his money? Like what? Why do people not like?
It's money, and it's just like he's very
he's-
on and off. Like,
But
it's
that's
not consistent.
but the thing is, he was like when he was on the Rams, he played totally different, and like he had to
he's
like
gonna-
He was a linebacker as well.
Yeah, coming to
Yeah.
the Niners, he had to learn the position, so
Yeah,
that's
and
why
then
it took him time to.
Another year with our D-line coach. Watch, he's gonna be good this year. He was good. He had flashes last year because he's so quick off the line and stuff, which plays to his advantage. I think another year with our D-line, we have the best D-line coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be good. I fucking love that rotation we have for the D-line.
Even though he never has a voice. Like,
Yeah.
No.
That dude ain't never got no voice because he's always screaming. I feel like Chris Kasarik was a drill sergeant in his past life.
Yeah. Right.
But,
Chris Kasarik has to be the most fun person to ever watch on mic'd up on the sidelines.
now here's the thing. Fred, Dre, and Aziz, we all know they're stars. I did not expect Curtis Robinson to make this squad due to him always being injured.
I was confused too.
I was really confused when I saw that he made it. Oren Burks is obvious, and DFF. I mean, well,
You
at
all
this
thought
point,
that fool was gonna get traded, man.
I will gladly admit that I
he's
thought
had flashes
DFF
at
was
times.
trade bait.
He's had flashes.
I
at
will
times, and he has-
gladly admit that I thought that.
He has good ball skills too, though. So he has
yeah,
flashes of time.
he's all right, and I
He
mean,
can fill
they
in when we need him to.
Good special teams.
But you got to remember, we got 3 starting middle linebackers on this team.
Yeah,
Which is insane.
we're good.
Think about it, it's
Oh, yeah.
insane because Fred's obviously all pro fucking Fred and would start on every single team. But you look at Aziz and Dre, and they would start as middle linebacker at most defenses in the league.
I was surprised that McCrary Ball didn't get the nod over Curtis Robinson, if I'm honest.
That's exactly who I was thinking was going to get the nod, and when he didn't, I was very surprised. But I think McCrary Ball winds up.
I honestly, guys,
making it elsewhere.
I wouldn't be surprised though if some of the way this defense is built has to do with D'Amico Ryan finally getting to probably run more of the defense style of defense that he wants to run, and not the one he has to run, because the last year was what he had to do because he was so freaking, open. He was screwed at the corner position, the DBs in general. Now that he's got some guys that can fucking ball, I think he's going to run a lot of man, I think he's going to run a lot of man blitzes. So I think we're going to see a lot more blitzes this year because of the coverage. I think just the way he's going to call the defense is probably doesn't make sense now, but it's probably why we probably see the guys that made the team in it, and they're a little surprised because I think he's going to surprise us with the way he's going to call this defense this year.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys, are you surprised that so many of the young linebackers got cut when Aziz and Dre are both on one-year deals right now?
I mean, I think I'm not completely surprised because the fact that I think like a guy like Segun Olobi and McCrary Ball, they're hoping that they're going to be on the practice squad and then develop them, and then probably one of them, comes up next year because we're not going to be able to pay Greenlaw and Aziz, or maybe even both. So.
Didn't we lose 2 linebackers last year? Jonas Griffith and the guy that got picked up by
from
the Giants.
Ohio State guy. Yeah.
Think about it.
Denver and the Giants, I think, both picked up linebackers last year. So
come trade deadline, there's a good chance Greenlaw or Aziz one of them's getting traded probably during which is fine because we can't bring them both back. Yeah. Personally, I'd like to keep Aziz, and we trade Dre Greenlaw.
I disagree with you.
Get a good return. See, I think Deon will agree with me.
I'm not saying that
Greenlaw.
I'm not saying that 80% of the fan base won't agree with you because it's every what have you done for me lately? And Greenlaw had a shaky beginning last year, and then he was mostly on and off due to injury. So I'm not saying that most of the fan base won't agree with you, but I fell in love with Big Play Jay, and I think that after Frank chewed him out last year, rightly so, for going for the big tackle instead of filling the gap, I think Greenlaw has that fire, and he and Aziz have this natural, friendly competition between them, and I think he has a bounce back year. So
Aziz just has that motor to don't quit, though. That guy is fucking hot.
I do agree with you, Lefty. I would probably keep Aziz over Dre. I like what Dre does, but the thing is for me, it's more so just a health standpoint. This last year, he hasn't been the same guy that he normally has been. But Media, what do you think, man?
Well, see, the reason I'm saying Greenlaw is because of the injury, so he could be a little cheaper, to be able to keep, and so that's why I think Greenlaw.
True. Yeah, from a number standpoint. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. What we got next?
Dubs. Here we go. Got the cornerbacks and safeties.
Yes.
Oh man,
let's go.
Let's start with the cornerbacks. Looks like we got Charvarius Ward, Emmanuel Mosley, Samuel Womack, son of Bobby Womack. I'm just kidding. He's not related to Bobby Womack.
We found a fucking late round gem, guys.
Hey,
Womack is a fucking dog.
Dude, I'm so excited to see him.
Oh my god, he's
Can we just amazing. Have every pick in the 5th round? Because we somehow always
Can we just trade Jimmy Garoppolo for a 5th, a 6th, a couple 5ths, a couple 6ths?
What's up, Arner?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this though. Here's the crazy thing. Yeah. This list is not including a pup list Jason Verrett.
Nope.
That's true.
When he comes back, oh man, that's gonna be crazy. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Ward and Mosley are the starters. Simple. Womack's most likely our nickel. Having Ambry and having Diamador as backups is fantastic.
So
But I will tell you this: the number one dude that I want to watch all year long is Sam Womack.
Oh,
And I've coined this,
yeah.
and everybody has seen this. So let me tell y'all right now: if y'all see anybody else doing this, you better let me know, because I started this, and I'm
on the round check. Absolutely.
You're talking about the song, right, Deon?
Yes. So if anybody ever does that, y'all let me know, because I'm coming for their head.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Dude, if he fucking starts getting picks to start the season, I'm getting that fucker's jersey.
Hey, look, man, I'm telling you, all I'm going to do is do the same thing I did when he had his first 2 picks. If you think you're lonely now, wait until Womack intercepts you. I'm telling you, he's got the best defensive plays of the preseason from a defensive back.
Dude, that one
around the league, strictly based on his 2 interceptions.
That one where
what you want from a DB.
The one
You're not going to cut it in.
Picked off, I know. The one he picked off of Jordan Love, dude, where he was on the receiver's hip the whole way and just snatched.
Oh, yeah.
It was absolutely picture perfect. It was
a thing of beauty.
Gorgeous.
I saw that live in person. It was
dude, that shit was gorgeous.
I'm telling you, the one where he was fighting with the receiver all the way out of bounds, and he didn't give up that ball because he listened to his coaches, and they said, we want turnovers, we want interceptions, we're counting tallies, and you're going to fight until the whistle. And that he took it to heart, and he fought and got the ball. That impressed me, because that is something that you cannot teach someone. They either have that mentality or they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Those
he
are
is the definition of like D'Amico Ryan's word swarm.
Talk that talk, media.
What is the definition of swarm?
For people that don't know, tell them what swarm means.
All right, so swarm was the saying that Mr. D'Amico Ryans made last season for the nickname of this defense.
Exactly.
Yes,
so
sir.
What we want is everyone to understand that the defensive backs that we have are going to make plays. We will have way more interceptions than we've ever had in the Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch regime. I guarantee it. The interceptions are coming. They're going to be there. And I'm telling you right now, you do not want to be a quarterback trying to throw a I'm sorry, I'm not going to call him Charvarius. I'm going to call him Mooney. I saw his interview. He wants to be called Mooney. He don't like being called Charvarius.
I just thought that Matt still calls him Charizard.
The crazy thing is, he sold his whole family out. He gave government names and nicknames. I'm like, Mooney, don't do that, bro. Don't tell everybody who your folks is now. You get quiet. You know, people show up and they randomly start doing stuff.
Let me ask this.
They start asking for money and shit, you know?
Let me ask this. Why so many times did we see during, training camp, and so why was Ambry struggling so bad? Because at the end of the last season, he was fucking balling.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's a sophomore slump or something, bro.
You did realize that just some guys don't give it all in practice, whether they're just not naturally practice players, or they just don't think that they have to give it their A game because they think they're drafted and that they're going to save themselves for.
Joey always shit, man. You see this motherfucker?
Joey always got the best comments.
So that's the thing too. And then with like Lenore,
Chanel?
he was obviously showing a lot of flashes last year.
Joel?
And then finally it came out. We found out that he lost his brother and cousin. Mm-hmm. And that was really hard on him. So, and then like that's when he kind of like lost his spot and his play dropped. So, are we going to see, the Lenore that was playing really good and getting in positions and getting interceptions now that he's got his head right? Because I could understand his head, being a young guy, a young kid, and losing your cousin and your brother and not being able to play football. So,
I also thought that we sat Lenore because Shanahan wanted to test out Ambry last year.
I think
because in that Bengal game, Ambry Thomas was burnt toast. We lost an interception, we lost a Bosa sack, and it's just like they kept him out no matter how ugly it got. And I think that they really wanted at that point to test out Ambry Thomas and see if this guy that they got in the third round right behind Sermon was gonna either fly or fail. And so I think the personal off the field issues is part of why he got benched. He was riding pine, but I also think it had a lot to do with seeing what the hell Ambry had.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. Like I think them being our weakest links in the corner makes me feel pretty good because I like them both.
Yeah,
so I think they can both ball.
You know, I was sold on Travarius Ward the very first presser, and he goes, "I did not think that Jawan Jennings was going to get that open and bring that kind of toughest." And he just like went on like for like 2 minutes complimenting Jawan Jennings' mentality.
Hey,
he's a football. He's a football guy.
Look, and the crazy thing is Jennings is what we wanted Jalen Hurd to be. We really wanted him to be
72 days in a row.
I know, but
Jennings, I don't think that's true, though.
Don't you bring up that name?
I think that Kyle had a whole package for that guy. I won't speak his name. I think Kyle had a whole package and idea for him. But I think what he did.
Oh yeah.
I think what he did is he somewhat filled the void that what's his name?
Left by Kendrick Bourne.
Kendrick Bourne, because I love me Kendrick Bourne. That guy was clutch as fuck. He was always clutch, and that's what Jennings has brought. Like Bourne did the same thing.
I also think that Jennings is going to do a lot of what they schemed up for Dead Legs, because Dead Legs was also brought here for a very specific.
Yeah.
Shanny love project.
Yeah, so like I think with Jennings though, I think he drops the ball sometimes in stupid situations. Bourne did the same thing, but then when you need a fucking catch,
hey, statistically, guess what? Out of the two of them, Debo has more drops than Jennings.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So you all can come at me with your Juwan Jennings hate, but it's practice.
No, I love Juwan
compared
Jennings.
to actual field play.
I was talking up
Juwan
Juwan Jennings. I was talking up Juwan Jennings to his rookie season before last year, which was his sophomore season.
Hey, I told everybody.
Actually,
what do we call him, Deon?
Christian, this is his second year because he was on the practice squad and then he got injured, so they had the injury settlement his first year. So this is technically
but that year I was talking him up and excited because I said he was going to be our possession. I had said he was going to be our possession guy. I was saying he was going to be, I was talking him up from the get-go. Like, he's going to be our possession guy. I like his big body.
I was sold on him when you saw that phone call between him and Kyle.
I don't care what nobody says. We call him Juwan motherfucking Jennings because he was the man. And I'll tell you this, the other thing that I'll say about Jennings is that what he brings in that blocking game, we don't have in another receiver.
Nope.
I love Debo. He don't block like Jennings. I love IU. He don't block like Jennings. Danny Gray and Ray McLeod ain't about to block like Juwan motherfucking Jennings.
And the best part about Juwan Jennings is he's that guy that you're never going to know if he's being used in a stunt to block or he's going to get the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Like, too many of these people, it's clear that they're either there for blocking purposes or they're for catching purposes. With Juwan Jennings, you can actually really hide the intention until the play actually unfolds.
Yeah. If you want to know how much I love Jennings, you should see how fucking excited I get when he fucking gets a third down conversion. I'm fucking
hey man,
so I'm like jumping out of my fucking chair and shit.
You really gotta love the Rams and Bengals game because I've had at least seen the Bengals game 45 times this off season. Just how clutch he came up in.
He was so awesome.
The fourth quarter and in overtime.
Oh, I know. I was losing it in that game.
I got so pissed off when Robbie fucking
bring up that
kick
again because we didn't even touch them. We got
safeties.
into okay, so we got Huff, we got Tarvarius, Odom, and Jimmy Ward. And Jimmy Ward will most likely wind up going right onto the short IR and will most likely oh wow, Terradome, why you doing like that? Tough as my bad, Terradome. I get it. Sorry. Took a second to click. Don't worry. No worries. My bad. It took a second to click.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, dude, I
didn't catch it at first. You gotta get at first I was like, oh, he gonna do it. And then I thought about it like, no, dumbass. He meant like
so, yeah.
You ain't chew that shit. A $2 thing? Yeah, you ain't chewing that. You gonna have the strongest jaw in the world after trying to chew that. But
You clearly have not gone to a Colombian diner and try to have those skirt steaks that they order for breakfast, and they're so hard.
Dude, freaking Deon. So Are you worried about the safeties? Because I'm a little.
No.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Here's my number one reason why I'm not worried about the safeties. Talanoa Hufanga. I'm sorry.
I worry about. Hold on, though, Deon. I worry
What?
about him a little bit in coverage at times because
Mhm.
in the run game he fucking flies, dude. But I worry about him. I worry about his coverage skills at times. Like there's flashes, but then there's times where he just.
Christian, I gotta ask you, what the hell did you think when he had that huge hit versus the Packers?
Fucking Ronnie Lott. Fucking he like took the soul of Ronnie Lott and fucked that motherfucker up. That's what I thought.
And it was clean.
And the
He
guy got
moved his
cut.
guy to make
That
sure
guy
that they
got
were
cut.
nowhere near each
He
other.
did. He did get cut. He
He-
probably got cut. He got his ass hit. I'll tell you this. You know what I thought? You know what I thought when I saw that hit?
Oh, it's
I go back.
fucking dirty.
I went back to the Avengers
It's-
when Thor and Iron Man, Thor and Captain America, where they were in the woods, and Captain America
No, it was Iron
was
Man.
telling them,
And then
"Hey, look, hold on,
And then
hold on,
Captain
hold on,
America came with the shield.
Let me finish my point. Hold on." So they in the woods, and all Thor says is, "You want me to put the hammer down?" That's exactly what Huff was saying when he hit his ass. He was like, "You want me to put the hammer down?" Bam, here it is. And when he got up, I was like, they better not throw a flag. That was one of the cleanest hits I've ever seen.
So
it was beautiful.
If you want a more recent comparison, because Lot is that's a long time ago. If you want a more recent comparison in that style of hit and what could remind you of a more
Ghostin' or Hittner?
No, I said that.
Ed Reed.
Yeah, didn't I call it a Hittner energy? I said that flat out. That was the first time I felt like that big Hittner energy.
Yeah, but if you go off how clean that was and how well he read that looked like Ed Reed coming from fucking back out of nowhere.
Yeah, hey, so media. Mm-hmm. What do you think about the safeties, man? I need you to chime in, bro, because I'm gonna get you on the show. I'm gonna get you on my show specifically. You're gonna get spicy with me, bro. It's in there. You gotta find a way to pull it out of you. I know you got it in you, bro. I know you do. You got spice in you.
Trust me.
I'm gonna find a way to bring it out.
When you make up your mind to be nice and cordial, and then Deon starts going off, like you can't help but bring that same energy. Like I convince myself every time we have a round check, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna bite my tongue. I'm gonna let them have their fun, and then Deon goes off, and it sets me off every week.
But what is your view on the safeties, media?
I am a little worried about it just because I haven't seen a bunch of Odom just like playing a whole lot of safety because he's been, mostly special teams guy. And then obviously Tarvarius Moore still, trying to get back to what he was, because he's coming off the Achilles. So I feel like there's some question marks. With health and
I can understand that. I get why you and Christian feel that way, and I completely get it. My thing is I feel like Huff and Jimmy created a really good bond, and Jimmy said, "You know what? I like this kid. Let me teach him. Let me show him." He became Jimmy's Padawan.
Yes.
And Jimmy Ward right now is like his Obi-Wan. Yep. So he's telling him, you ain't Anakin, you ain't even Luke, but you at least like a distant cousin that I could teach. You got a little bit of the Force in you, so I'm going to go ahead and teach you some things, and then you're going to go ahead and jump in to be a full-on Jedi. And when he laid that hit out, I was like, well, he definitely believed in the Force. The metachlorians was all flowing through his body.
We're gonna see. We will see a big improvement in Hufanga though this year. Like,
What's up, Matt? Man, where the fuck you been at, Matt? Matt, let me tell y'all something, man. Matt is my dog. Matt's been with me since the beginning. Like, I swear to God, when I had like 2 followers, Matt was one of them. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? He been AWOL, man. He probably just been living life doing his thing. But I appreciate you jumping in, Matt. I ain't got nothing but love for you, bro. Fanbase saying who to Hufanga, but the reason they're saying that is because they're actually scared. Oh yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Here's the thing. You don't let a young kid with that kind of talent be trained by Jimmy Ward
and humility.
and Troy Polamalu.
Oh yeah.
Like
And
you got to yes,
he
yes,
has
he is.
tons of humility.
He's very humble. But the one thing is, Troy Polamalu had him not just doing football shit. It was, hey man, educate yourself. Read this, learn that. Like you teach. The thing is, you teach people life skills, and it helps them with their profession. Because I can tell you this: I've had plenty of little dudes out, when I was living in LA that I didn't help bring up because I didn't have no brothers, so I always adopted brothers. And I've had little young guys that were there that were around me that I taught them things. You know what I'm saying? You teach them some little fun shit, how to be a little, how to have your fun, how to be a player, stuff like that. But you still got to teach people man things like guidance. You got to really tell them what's going on. They need to understand life. And that's what Troy Polamalu was brought into Hufanga's life. And then at the same time, that Polynesian culture, they are so close-knit like that. It's insane that, any of them get away from, the next person. And the best thing about them, I'll tell you right now, if you ever want to get hype, have these cats do a haka in front of you.
Oh, fuck
There's no way you can't build up energy. Watch the passion they have when they do that, because they're basically telling you, hey, man, this is the energy of our ancestors. This is who we are. When he throws that tee up, he's not playing about that. And I feel like
that was the best part of the Packer game when he got that hit and the entire sideline, Armstead and everyone went right to the line and they all did it with him. And if we're speaking about his teachers, we're also forgetting Fred Warner kind of adopted him last year. Like every game they would kneel down, face the goal line, they do a prayer together, and Warner's been there for Talanoa all along.
So when it comes to him, Hufanga, it kind of goes back to what I was saying about, USC and their inability lately to.
You can't mention that school with Deon on the podcast. He gets mad.
I know. Well, he just agrees because I shit on him anyway. I hate that school. But like their inability to why can't I think of the word, to actually like develop their talent has been so terrible the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So with Hufanga working with Polamalu and all these guys like that, he has all this potential, and he's just finally getting the coaching and the ability to actually get better now that he's with the Niners. I do think we're just going to continuously see that improvement. I think that's what's going to happen with Drake Jackson too, which is probably why we drafted him, because he was supposed to be a first-round top 10 pick coming out of high school, but he went to USC, and they've been so fucking terrible at developing their talent lately because they've been a fucking dumpster fire of an organization the last 5 years or so, that they're, these guys are coming in at low draft picks and end up being fucking studs as they get the right development.
That right after the Jake Jackson pick, he said USC band together or something in like some Instagram post or something.
Oh yeah, he was very happy that Drake Jackson came along, because like what people don't realize is when you do go into the NFL, man, it's a whole nother world, because you're going somewhere you don't know no damn body. Yep. If you have family there, you luck out, but it's extremely rare that you go somewhere where you know everyone. And you don't. And when you get somebody that just came from your school and you know them personally, it makes life a little easier. What if Huff said, you know what, hey, bro, it's just me, man. Why don't you just come roommate with me for the first year till you get on your feet? You know what I'm saying? Like, you create that, you build that. And, though I can't stand USC because I'm a diehard UCLA fan.
I remember you got pissed at me for showing that GIF when I had to go on mute.
Yeah, I still understand.
He got so mad at me for using USC.
Like what
I'll
saying?
shit on USC all day.
Well, I mean, we know because you're a Utes fan, so that's automatic.
No, dude, but I grew up in Southern California hating them fuckers anyway.
Oh, I couldn't. Yeah, I never liked them, not once. I like the talent they produce, but I can't stand the school.
No. All right, so to end the show off.
Oh, snap! Did he say, hold up, Tyrod?
Yep.
I'm gonna give you some respect, baby, because Now the U in the 90s and the early 2000s.
The U as the University of Utah, the actual U, where there's fucking two U's.
No, we are not talking about Utah, bro.
Yeah.
We are talking about Miami. About the
I just think it's funny that Miami calls himself the U because University of Utah, that's fucking two U's. That would be the U because the fucking school is U.
There he is.
Look, you see him? He had to look. Christian had to get that out. He was holding on to that.
Yeah, fucking. I hate the fucking Miami calls himself the U. You motherfuckers are the fucking M.
You're all college fans, right?
Yo, let me.
Motherfuckers, fucking you, my ass.
That was like drug test.
You guys are all college fans, right? So can I ask you a question?
And the way they do the U is a block U. It's
how ridiculous is it that the Buckeyes actually trademarked the word "the" as their new slogan? They just known as V.
Look, Melissa, you can trademark any goddamn thing you want.
Yeah,
you can. You really can. You can trademark some of the stupidest bullshit. I give you the funniest trademark ever. So you know how the Kardashians was doing that? They was doing that first. Cardi B trademarked the shit. Them motherfuckers had to stop using it. They got pissed.
Nobody should use it. It should be buried in the ground.
If you're gonna mention a female celebrity, I'd rather talk about your wife loving Selena than ever having to hear anything about that horrible reality family.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's always good.
Selena. Freaking the Hispanic.
Did you just say thank you in the background?
Yeah, Selena Quintanilla, man.
Perez.
Yeah, she's
greatest Tejana singer of all time, bro.
The one that got murdered.
Yes, unfortunately.
I listen to crime podcasts. I listen to one where they talk.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Her story is sad.
That lady should just stay in jail. Okay, Yolanda Saldivar does not need to be let out. Her life is in danger.
No, did you see her actually use Chris Perez's book release about his late wife as her way of trying to get out of prison?
She's psycho.
That woman is psycho.
I don't know about that. We're gonna move on.
Did you watch the Netflix show?
She took advantage of.
I didn't like the Netflix show.
She took advantage of one of the nicest.
The Netflix show. Yeah, the Netflix show was. The movie was the best thing for me.
If I can recommend anything for Selena, if you're a die-hard Selena fan, you gotta read Chris's book about her.
I don't know her that well. I just know from
that.
Oh no, yeah, his book. Yeah, my wife has the book. His book.
I adore that book, and my best friend, my former best friend, the best gift he ever gave me was he went on iTunes and he went on my account and he hacked it, and he bought me that $90 Ultimate Collection of hers, which is everything that she's ever done. Every song, everything.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on. We got to touch this. I'm sorry, D-Dubs. If he trademarks that shit, your ass.
No. Joey, what Joey needs to do, I'll start paying him if he starts working on my TikTok account, all right?
Oh,
God
shit.
Damn it. So busy getting the Hive.
Where's the Hive at now? He's got the Hive at what?
It's almost at 20,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Joey's pretty good at what he does.
You want some money? B-Dub said work on the TikTok account, and he'll give you some bread. Other than that, they mark the name before he does, and you can do so.
Them funny hermits are good at TikTok.
Oh, don't set Joey off.
Hey, Joey's about to come at you, bro.
Joey gonna come with the shit. You know he is. But so we don't have to touch the special teams. We already know who the fuck they are. That's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna do this real quick. We're gonna start with you, media, because you've been a little quiet. I need an X factor, and I need a bold prediction for that X factor.
Okay.
And I need when you give it to me. I want that energy, man. I want to feel like he about to jump through the screen and just tackle a dude.
I want you to go out like Christian just went out right now about his Utah.
Exactly. You see the energy he had about the real you.
Yeah,
real you.
Difference is with that guy that was talking about. Yeah, but is he even an alumni of the fucking you? or the M, I should say.
Yeah.
Because
All right, media, go ahead.
Utah's my
Go ahead,
alma mater.
Alrighty.
So
Alrighty. Okay. So you said hot take and an X factor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Okay. Let's see.
What are we looking at, media?
I'm just
where
trying
we
to.
All right, everybody gotta look up because we gotta
Look up.
I'm just trying to
Okay.
think because I'm having a hard time thinking of the hot take. So
All right, we're gonna let you think on that.
Yeah, we'll come back to you.
We'll come back to you, Melissa. Same thing. I need an X factor and a hot take for that X factor. I need that energy. I need that grit.
Okay.
Bring that jersey out.
I'm gonna say Kinlaw is gonna shut down every freaking hater out there. You're gonna forget the name DeForest Buckner, and he is gonna have at least 9.5 sacks this year and a shit ton of pressures where these quarterbacks are running for their lives.
Oh, I like it.
Okay.
I like all that. That is a fantastic take. Media, you ready, or should we skip over to the next person? Are you still thinking, Seth?
yes, please skip over.
All right, Christian.
Real quick, I just
know
want to
you-
say that I've been wearing this for the last 2 days, and I want to thank my Hive family because if it was
Oh, there
not
you
for this hoodie, I would not have gotten through all this freaking 10 nonsense all freaking week.
and I'm wearing my Trey area shirt today.
There you
too.
go. All right, Lefty. Go
So-
left on him. Go
so
left.
What are we doing? You saying
I need an X factor. I need a
Okay.
guy on this team that's gonna make an impact, and I need a hot take on what his
Okay.
impact is going to be.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna go with Lance then if they're both continuing because I wasn't sure. So I'm
Okay.
gonna go with Lance because what I'm gonna say is because as much as we've been harping all off season that he's gonna be slinging it,
Mhm.
what my hot take is, I think we're wrong, and I think he's gonna have a similar fucking season running the ball the way Lamar did in his MVP season. And he is gonna, but the difference is he's not gonna be juking people. He's gonna be running people the fuck over, fucking power running that shit, and he's gonna fucking have an MVP caliber season just
If
running
I
the ball.
had
And
a
this team is gonna run all
QB, I would
over
like-
everybody.
I love it.
QBs, I would rather him to be like Josh Allen, trucking people in the red zone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's true, but I don't
Yeah.
think he's. I think if he's not there yet, Kyle, and he might not be because he's so freaking raw and young. That there's a good chance he's gonna be fucking running the ball a lot, and if that is the case, which I think it might be, I think he's gonna fucking kill it because the run game in general is gonna be fucking.
I just
phenomenal.
need one touchdown like the Packer touchdown where he's running right behind the silverback and he just runs right in easy peasy for the end zone.
Shit, I can score
I
a
get one of
touchdown running
those.
behind the silverback.
It's not even
man.
right.
I'm 41 and out of
Just-
shape.
He's gonna
I
be
can
running.
score a touchdown running behind that big
Yeah.
behemoth of a human
But
being.
there's a reason why. That got me through all my brother's BS.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I would just rewatch that over
Yeah.
and over and over again to comfort myself
Yeah,
and
I
say that
think.
there was
Oh,
bigger
don't
and better
worry.
things coming.
Yeah.
Remember, Melissa, I gave you the biggest.
I
compliment
know.
I would never give.
4 wins to 0 losses in the playoffs. And
Yeah.
my brother, to this day, cannot stand it. I kid you not, he has stopped using the word name Mostert. He will not even admit that person was on the field, did anything. He is completely in denial now.
I wouldn't want to either. Then after the way he ran all over the ass,
Dude,
motherfucker had
but
220
the way-
yards and 40.
Honestly,
I
the
wouldn't want to even. I wouldn't want to see his face.
honestly though, the way we beat him this past season was way more embarrassing for them.
Right in their
Oh,
house,
yeah.
in the
Oh,
frozen tundra.
he does not
and
find
we
no
did them all
embarrassment.
special
He
teams,
blames
but-
his special teams coach and he blames his special teams because they're like, they didn't block Jordan Willis.
Bro,
Okay,
you lost
if
to
they didn't
Jimmy
block Jordan
Garoppolo,
Willis,
who
then how the hell
sucked.
did he have the block field goal and the block punt? There was
You literally
2
lost
plays,
to
not
Juju
one.
didn't score.
Jordan
All right,
Willis
so
is a
B
beast.
Dubs, real quick, please, by all means, brother, hand us
Okay.
your X factor.
All right. Here's my X factor right here.
All right, he got something queued up here too. I know he's about to do some. Oh shit!
Oh, but
Bosa!
Just let it play.
Guns. He's got it all.
Nick Bosa never misses arm day or leg day or the chance to sack the quarterback. But last year, he missed the top 100 after missing 2020 with a torn ACL.
Our freshman year at Ohio State, he was actually coming off of an ACL, and when he made his way back, he was himself.
I've seen what I've always seen from college, just how crazy strong Nick is. He can go around the edge with speed, with hands, and he can run you over.
This is just an effort sack. This is what Bosa does best. Just hits him with a bull rush.
Man amongst bullies right there.
What makes Nick so dynamic is his understanding of the game, but his ability to play with low leverage.
His knees be touching the ground. He'd be bear crawling, and he'd just boom, pop up.
He's able to stop and start and turn and twist.
Well, when you put Odell Beckham Jr. on him, advantage Nick Bosa. They try to bring Odell Beckham to help cut him off. There's just no chance.
He's so mobile and flexible and able to hit the edge with speed.
Bosa like a steamroller off the edge.
He's the only guy that fucking Wilson can't outrun.
Oh, this probably he does this a whole lot. So.
Bosa got the 4-point stance. Just ripped that field.
That out in and back in real quick with the hand swipe. That's a tough one.
Nick Bosa's right up there. He's definitely a guy you have to study.
In 2020, Nick ranked 17th, the highest debut for a rookie defender in the history of the top 100.
Yeah, and they had to go and give it to Michael Parsons this year, like
Brother
fucking
Joey.
bullshit.
At this point, I'm so over competing with him. I just want him to do the best he can and me do the best I can. But I think he's going to.
Joey knows his brother's better.
At 15 sacks.
They sound so identical.
Super Bowl, so I think he deserves to be higher than me. Last year,
They're both just big meatheads.
You know the funniest part though of last year was that we had the camp with the Chargers and Jimmy was tagged.
Hold on.
Behemoth of a human.
Did I jam your thumb when I high-fived you?
No?
Good.
They're freaking natures. They're just complete players. 4-3 DN, that's something I want to be.
Bro, I don't care what nobody says. Him and his brother sound exactly the same. I don't care how you
Bro,
feel.
they sound exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So the thing was last year when we had that thing with the Chargers and they had to like touch when they were going to sack the quarterback. Jimmy said on the record like 5 times that I didn't even know it was Joey saying it instead of Nick. Cause I'm just so used to that tone where Nick's like, "I'm sorry, dude."
Yeah, like they just sound very
5
similar.
times.
It's that meathead tone.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Oh my God.
All right, media, you got something?
Yes, sir. So my take, this is real hot, I think.
Well, you know what? Hold up. Give him the screen, man.
Okay.
Yes, the full
out
screen. I want to see this.
I need this.
How do you do it?
Well, yeah, not you. Him.
No shit, Sherlock. But
Fucking beat him.
yeah. There we go.
There we go, Brandon.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Armstead is going to have his 2019 season and is going to have 10 sacks.
Ooh. I like it. Eric Armstead with 10 sacks.
I like it.
He is saying that this defensive line is now going to wreak havoc on every. Oh, wow. Why are you doing like that? Why are you doing like that, Tyrod?
That's so fucked up, Tyrod.
I like that. I like that freaking. I like
Oh,
that take though, because
oh shit,
Armstead,
it is a hot take, but it is awesome. I do agree with it.
You know, I think Armstead's gonna have a special year because he's gonna be inside the entire
he
whole
also,
year,
and
which
he
he needs
benefits.
to be.
He benefits with good players around him, and it excels his play.
I will
with Kinlaw in there, and Kinlaw staying healthy, and fucking just.
Yo, I want Kinlaw to pick off Justin Fields so badly and do another disastrous flip into the end zone like he did against Arizona coming out of the half.
All I gotta say about Kinlaw is nobody that damn big should be that damn ripped. That's
did you see
that is a monster.
Did you see who he credit though in helping him get to that shape? He said he hit Nick Bosa, he hit up his brother, and he learned the Bosa diet and Bosa way of working out to not only stay limber, but to not have your legs break down on you.
Okay, I'm gonna say some real crazy shit right now. The Bosa family, that shit starts in their daddy's ball sack. These motherfuckers are literal sperms running defensive drills in their daddy's nutsack, and the minute he goes right into his mama's womb, this motherfucker's practicing 3-point stands, get off drills, all kinds. I'm pretty sure that poor lady's ribs and bladder are probably destroyed after them kids.
Jeez.
Because these kids are probably running plays and running defensive drills inside their mama's womb and coming straight from the daddy's ball sack straight through it. And no, I don't have to say pause on that. The shit is just, these are just facts. I'm sorry, you can't have two kids that do what they do and sound the way they sound and don't think these motherfuckers ain't been playing football since their conception.
Think about what she just said, though. Fucking the mountain of a man, Kinlaw, just fucking went to the fucking best people he could have went to stay in shape and be a beast. Oh, fuck, dude.
It was mostly about his legs and not having those constant pains in his legs and his diet and how you could build up muscle up top and below without
compromising
the structure of your bones and your muscles.
Yeah, he's gonna be a beast this year.
So
Deon, the best part about the Bosas was Joey. The first thing he did after he got that big payday was build them like a super gym in Fort Lauderdale for the two of them to have.
It's awesome. They work out together all off season.
Deon,
what's up, B-Dubs?
Now it's your turn.
All right, so my hot take is gonna be. It's going to coincide with Lefty. Mm-hmm. Brandon Ayuk will be Ayukin DBs all year long. Brandon Ayuk will have over 1,000 yards receiving. Brandon Ayuk will have double-digit touchdowns. Brandon Ayuk will be a Pro Bowler and first-team All-Pro. Mark my words. Gonna happen.
You know, Mariah is somewhere in Vegas right now smiling, and she has no reason to understand why, but she is. Just because of that take.
If we see that out of him,
bro, look,
we make it the Super Bowl.
Ayuk literally did not want anything to do with 10, period.
Nope.
He didn't work out with him. He didn't talk about him. If you notice, when everybody else came to his defense, didn't see Brandon do it. Everybody else was like, he just wins. Look at his stats. He did it. Oh, man, we gotta love Jimmy. And
didn't Brandon almost get 1,000 yards his rookie year with CJ Beathard and Nick Mullins as his two legitimate quarterbacks? And he was out by the time that Jimmy was supposedly rumored to come back, but he never did come back because he missed those last few games. So he almost beat Jerry's record in his rookie year with two of the worst quarterbacks.
Yeah. And that, I mean, and you got to think about it. I'll tell you another guy who's currently suspended, who made his career off of a rotation of quarterbacks. Deandre Hopkins.
Yep.
D-Hop played with everybody and they mama. He played with me, you, Melissa, Anshul, Lefty, B-Dub.
No, I do not want to ever. I do not ever want to be associated with the quarterbacks that Texans had.
But I'm saying, he literally played with anybody who would throw him the ball and still would make amazing ass fucking catches. And I know he's suspended right now. Oh no, his hands are ridiculously massive. It's like they talked about OBJ. I was like, no, OBJ ain't got shit on D-Hop, man. That motherfucker got big ass hands, bro.
Ginormous, bro.
Yeah,
he's got Deacon Jones hands, bro.
Yeah. Hey, and Deacon Jones, Deacon Jones is the reason that they outlawed that slap. You know that. Because he was doing that because you
seen the guy's fucking hands, Deon?
Because what it does is when he slaps you in the ear hole, it makes your ears ring. Yeah. So mentally you can't focus. So when they noticed that that's what the fuck he was doing to the offensive linemen, they outlawed the shit. Because he would come off his 3-point stance and literally 1, 2,
be like this.
And once you did that, you have your ears ringing. So when your ears are ringing, you can't focus. So next thing you know what happens? you just let him walk right past you.
Deacon Jones for the sack.
Exactly, because you can't do shit. I know I can't focus if my ears is ringing or some shit. That definitely would kill me. But I think we almost about 2 hours in, man. I think it's about time to shut this motherfucker down.
Yeah,
all right.
I gotta go to bed.
Before we end it, once again, guys, I did sign up for this playback thing.
Yep.
So we'll be going live every week to watch the 49er game. Here's a website. I pinned it inside the chat on YouTube. So,
Except for the Tampa Bay game, because we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there. But getplayback.com/room.
You guys gotta take a group photo and tag me on Twitter so I can see it.
Honestly, I might end up not being able to go, so we'll see what happens.
Well,
Christian, you better find a way to get
Christian,
your ass.
you better get your ass over there. Anyways,
Christian, I will come to Mormon country and find your ass. Me and Vita, we'll take a road trip, drive to Utah. We're gonna be out there. We may look well out of fucking place. We're gonna find your ass.
Fucking
and they gonna look and be like, hey, they kidnapped that guy. We didn't kidnap him. He wants to go. Shut up.
Yeah, he wanted to go.
He wanted to go.
The no 1 hour breakdown on Taylor Pepper making the team.
Hey, look, man, let me tell you something, okay? I like Tabor Pepper. You know why? Because he embraces that shitty ass fucking Madden rating that they give him.
Oh yeah.
He tells you straight up, like, I'm the baddest 26 rated Madden player you've ever seen. And I love that. Because you know what? You got to give Tabor Pepper a little respect, man. I know he's a long snapper.
Tabor's the GOAT.
I know he is. But you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Thank you.
Big Silverado Kev in the building.
My boy Kev, thank you again, man.
Nothing but love to you, Kev, man. You know, we appreciate you, bro.
Oh, and before we log off, I want to wish a happy 50th birthday to Super Dave because it's his birthday today.
Happy
Super
birthday
Dave,
to
OD,
Super Dave.
man.
Real talk,
Happy birthday to you, baby. Real talk, Niner talk. Nothing but love. I'm sorry that your birthday present that you wanted was not granted to you, but don't worry. Trey Lance will make up for all of that by giving us some wins and getting us in the playoffs.
Okay, so if you guys haven't yet already, hit that subscribe and like button. We really appreciate it. We're trying to grow out here. If you
Murder that like button.
Debo that.
I wrote on
Debo.
the first comment on Deon's channel. I said, "All pro silverback that like button."
Yeah, so whoever's on Deon's channel, Niner Gang Podcast, come over to For Faithful Podcast, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Really appreciate it. Whoever's on For Faithful Podcast, do the same thing over on Niner Gang Podcast. We really appreciate it. Everybody, go ahead and tell the people where they can find you at. I know 49er Media is going live after this to talk about the 53-man roster.
Sir.
So go ahead and say what you guys say, guys.
Go ahead, Media.
Alrighty. So you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at 49er Media. I am also keeping track of, been keeping track of the roster cuts. I have a whole spreadsheet that's also going to be keeping track of the practice squad and moves throughout the year. So make sure you guys check that out on Twitter. And then on YouTube, I also have a YouTube channel, 49er Media, and my podcast, First Take Niners.
That is awesome. That man got everything under the sun. Hey, Kev, if I know you out there watching, bro. Hey, tell Don I want in on this show. I need in on the Real Talk Niner Talk tomorrow.
What, tomorrow?
I know you guys are
low-key, I kind of want in too.
Being upset with the fact that 10 still exists. So tell Don I want in. Tell Don I want in.
If you guys come on, you guys got to compete with you and Don when they sing Panama's song because that's just
nothing.
so much fun.
You and Don have nothing on me. I'll blow him out the pot. I'll blow him out the pot. The minute that song, no. They don't want that smoke. Kev, if you out there and you watching, bro, I'm telling you right now.
My boy Silverado Kev birthday's on Thursday.
Oh, there we go, Kev. Yeah.
Hey, so
but yeah, Kev, don't. They don't want the smoke with me on lip sync. I'll kill it. I shut the whole show down. They don't want that.
We did that for my aunt's birthday this past weekend, and I fucking went fucking hardcore on that shit. And they didn't fucking say I won. I was fucking still pissed.
That's bullshit. I know you killed me.
Bro, I fucking did Karma because my aunt's had an 80. It was her 50th birthday. We did an 80s theme, so I did Karma Chameleon, and I fucking went hardcore, dude. I fucking literally put makeup on to look like Boy George, and I still didn't fucking win.
Damn. He went the whole 9. I ain't putting on the makeup. I can't do it.
I can't do it. Sorry.
Nah. This silky smooth skin is natural, baby. You know,
Yes, sir.
You don't fuck with that.
So
You don't
real
fuck
quick,
with perfection.
honestly, you gotta get skin. You gotta get skin like media, man. Media got the smoothest skin ever. It was smoother than the baby's bottom.
Stop it, Deon.
Media in there, man.
Hey.
Media gonna look 40 when he's 90.
Hey, you're making him blush, bro.
This
You're making
thing
him blush.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. These people got that. People got that. Hey, they got that skin on lock, bro. I don't know what the fuck it is, man. It's in the DNA, bro. It's in the DNA, man.
Hey.
Y'all just like us. Black don't crack, and neither do y'all. Y'all be out there looking young in the motherfucker. That should be confusing.
Hey, media, you too, dude. Join that freaking playback if you haven't yet already.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I got the link. I'll definitely join it.
And then Deon, we need you to get in on the moderator part because we got Christian to do
All right.
it. So.
I definitely will. Oh, let me go back to this.
Yeah.
I apologize, everyone. He is a 27. I disrespected his rating.
Dude,
My bad. I was
Wow.
Joey.
Joey, never fails, bro. Joey never fails. He's always with the shit.
Media went off the camera.
Oh, shit.
Stop it, Joey.
Oh, man.
I just got one thing to say to that. I absolutely adore my High family from the White and Gold podcast to all of you. Like, there's not one of you I don't love with all my heart.
We always out there. We always go do some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you. You know the funny thing? When you look at the Hive, Matt and Zach are serious guys. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They do things, but I'm gonna tell you right now, me and Matt are we're very similar. Because we both get a little crazy at times where we.
So what you're saying is we need a Deon Rant logo that'll swing every time you go off.
Yep.
And then that's the thing. Like, then you bring us all together, and then we start bringing other people in. And it's even crazier. But look, man, we are 157 in. 49er Media. Follow him. Continue to follow the Forever Faithful podcast. Follow me, Not in Game podcast. Check out Melissa. You see it right there. The NJ 49er Izzy. She is on Twitter. Melissa hangs out with all of us, okay? So you can catch her here. You can catch her at the Locker Room Rant. You can catch her just about every fucking where because she's always
and every Monday I rock it with Deon on the round check.
On the 49ers round check with CG Ruthless, 49er King, Moses, and believe me, man.
Moses has got to be so miserable right now that night is gone.
I know he loved him some Quantrez Knight, man, and he didn't make it, but kind of is.
And they tried to deny that you actually had Womack. Like, you're the one who put like a gun to my head and said I had to pick between Denard and Womack. Like, you were that first guy that was like all Womack all the time.
Hey, look, man, you got it.
Hey, also too, before we head out, make sure you guys, if you want the audio version of our podcast, go ahead and hit up Forever Faithful Podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, all the podcasts you can find and you listen to. We are there. And also is Niner Gang Podcast as well.
And shout out to our boy Stefan, who freaking edits all this shit and has to listen to all our Neek and Poop bullshit.
Yes, sir. Shout out to our boy Stefan. We'll be back to preview
all the way to Germany.
We'll be back to preview the Week 1 of the new 2022 NFL season against the Bears. So catch us the day before the game starts. And Izzy, you had something else to say?
Yeah, I just want to give one little quick shout out since now 12 o'clock on the East Coast is the day before Kev's birthday. And I have not forgotten that a couple years ago, I said my birthday wish was not to have a player shout out my birthday, but was to have Silverado Kev back on Nothing But Niners. Because that's how I fell in love with this community, because I saw him on there with both mics on the overreaction show for the Browns game in 2019. And that's how I got the confidence to join this community. and he honored my wish, and he came back on Nothing But Niners for one of the March Madness days for my birthday. Unfortunately, I had to wake up early that day, and I missed it, but I have never forgotten what you did for my birthday. So please, I ask you with all my heart to give him an early birthday present and subscribe to Real Talk and tweet about it, Instagram about it, however you want to share the news. Please get them up and get them followers, because they are about 6 and 7 of the funniest dudes you will ever come across, and they are real and they are wonderful.
There it is. That's the greatest way to end the show. Just spread love across the nation.
Guys.
Spread love.
Spread love. That's how we live, man. You know.
Yeah. Hey.
Other content creators didn't believe in us, but God did.
God did. God did. Ain't nobody believe in us, but Forever Faithful Podcast did.
Exactly. They didn't believe in us, but Not a Game Podcast did.
And I want to thank B and Christian for having me on again, because I really do
Yes, of course.
genuinely love being around all of you.
Hey, man.
Of course.
On that note, that's the best way to end the show, by spreading love. 49ers literally have the most content creators ever. I guarantee you there's not another franchise that has as many content creators as we do. Like, I literally have looked, and I guarantee you I can't find 10 for one franchise.
Jags
while
have
we
zero.
have, like, who has 0?
Jaguars.
Oh, yeah, I don't think there's anybody really wants to talk about them. Oh, speaking of that, before I get out of here, man, I got to say one last thing and we'll end it. Shout out to my young boy, Desean Dixon, for making the final 53. He is there. He is listed as an outside linebacker. He is number 47 on the Jaguars. Young blood.
Are you actually going to wear the jersey this year?
Yes,
I
am purchasing a Desean Dixon jersey. That is the only time
I just meant
ever
because you-
in my life see me
You
wear
got
another
what
jersey.
I had hoped to win, which was my first jersey off
Yeah.
the locker room rig, because nobody else seemed to want the Trevor Lawrence jersey, and then of course you won the horse race.
Yeah,
Hey.
but I mean, I will definitely grab his jersey, man. I'm very happy that he did be able to make the squad, man. Congratulations to him. There isn't, another person that's more deserving.
And I like he's on the team with Arden Key. Give me the cut.
Hey, nobody believed in him, but God did.
That's right. Y'all didn't believe in the Desean Dixon from Norfolk State, but I did.
Faithful. Until next time, faithful. Go Niners.
Go Niners.
Peace.